All right, here we go. This one is for you, Pisces. It's from Tarot Lumination. It's your April 2019 mini generic love and relationship report. There you go. We're doing the best we can. If you hear some very strange, weird noises in the background, you can say thank you to my neighbors. Okay, here we go. Now, cards are already well shuffled in advance. I like to go to the last second so that you're a witness. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. We're going to be using the Tarot Lumination Crucible spread. I'm going to illustrate that for you guys in a moment. A lot of you might recognize it already, but I got to explain things to newcomers. Okay, so please be patient. Singles, you can even watch this if you want to. Just allow for the laws of attraction and understand that when you are radiating energy, you're also receiving, and then the universe reflects back to you. Think of the universe as a big mirror. So even though it might not be timelined with you at this moment, let's just say there's you, there's the other, and we could consider the other energy as what if. In other words, let's say somebody or someone showed up, okay? Or maybe you have someone in mind. I'd like also watch for your sun, moon, and rising. If I didn't say that already, you know the routine. If you don't know what that means, you can write in and I'll explain to you. You can get all that information. Check in the links below. Let's go straight to the illustration, okay? So here we go. This is the Tarot Lumination Crucible spread. Looks just like this. Okay, so this is a crucible. A crucible is a bowl. It's typically in a laboratory. It's a very high refractory bowl that is designed to withstand the intense reactions that happen in alchemical experiments in laboratories. So it's very similar to what happens in human beings with relationships. So I use this spread on the allowance that there's you, other, deep inside of you, deep inside of the other, and a third entity, a living thing itself called a relationship. Okay? And then what is being fermented here? Remember, you guys own this, okay? Whether you like it or know it or not. Most people operate like this, okay? And that's perfectly understandable. But from Tarot Illumination perspective, we go big and wide. And this whole thing radiates and transmits energy as well, okay? Just like an entity. Your relationship has an aura, okay? So the question is also, like, what is the nature of the crucible? Is it very stable? Is it flexible under pressure? Is it wobbly? Is it unbalanced? So we're going to have a look, all right? You'll see how the cards play out in a moment. Also, I would invite you, please, dear Pisces, to invite your invisible friends, okay? Make this a team effort like we do here at Tarot Illumination. I'm not just a single body with a pair of hands doing this. It's a team effort, okay? We might be still dealing with a lot of the, let's say, I almost call it like hangover effect from March, because March was a huge month. I did a whole playlist about it. I called it like what now, like a gateway. And so I'm really taking it very gently with the astrology in March. Okay, so please allow for that. So we're just going to go straight to the cards. All right, we are basically ready to go. Okay, so bless these cards, bless the whole deck. Bless every single card in the deck. Bless you, Pisces. Bless Tarot Illumination. Bless the whole channel, the cameras, the internet, everything. And the platform that we can even do this at all. Okay? It's an amazing thing. All right. So this would be you. What are you radiating? Okay? You're transmitting and radiating, just like a smartphone in voice mode. What about the other? What about deep inside of you? Maybe this is very subconscious. What about deep inside of the other? What about at the relationship itself? So I'm hoping you can see here the crucible. That is the bowl. Okay? All right? And this is the entity in which you guys intimate and separate. We intimate and separate like all of us do in the context of relationship. And what is being fermented here? What is being grown? Remember, you guys own this. It's like a business. Okay? It doesn't sound very romantic, but that's essentially what it is. And in a loving relationship, both parties invest and communicate and do everything through the business, being very consciously aware of the relationship, and that the relationship is the structure. Okay, we're going to look at environmental influences, circumstantial energy, things like that. I like to call it the weather. That's all the stuff out here, okay, out here. And we have the sun. So it's a very simple energy. It's like it's an energy of happiness. And what I'm hoping, Pisces, is that you're aware of this. In other words, remember like early March, we had that Pisces new moon. For a lot of people, it was very difficult, and it preceded the, well, it was actually around the same time as the, and also the full moon as well, where we had that gateway. Remember? Did you see the playlist for all of that? Uranus at 0 degrees, and then we had the Aries Libra full moon at 0 degrees. That's a lot of heavy, strong power, but it's like newborn baby energy. You don't know what it is. You don't know what it is or how to deal with it. So a lot of people were struggling like how to deal with these energies. And a lot of it was to do with very deeply hidden, unresolved, unidentified, very hard to identify energies to do with self-undoing. Okay? And the need for healing, the need for revealing what needs healing. Okay? If that makes sense, I hope it does. So with the sun card here, my feeling is that you've come out and come through the other side. You've gone through the gateway, and you are now in a brand new state, a brand new condition, a brand new place where it's very, very simple. It's just like, oh, that's nice. I'm glad somebody told that. I'm glad that there's the potential for joy and happiness here, and you can see it and you can recognize it. Now, if you're in a very difficult situation, you're still surrounded by the energy of joy. Okay, it's out there. It is available to you. And also, this could indicate the energy that you and the relationship, and even perhaps the other party, are radiating. Okay, like the aura itself, the aura of the relationship. Okay. So I'm very happy to see that for you. Also, remember, this is not a couples reading, Pisces. You are the star of this, and you're working with Tarot Lumination, and we're allowing for a supporting role, the co-star over here. Okay, so have a look. Let's have a look. Let's get started. Okay, so with the Strength card, to me, this feels like this is going to sound weird. It's a lot to do with hormones. You know how like huge amounts of our life, almost like 90% of it is conducted through things like our hormones, our limbic system, our autonomic nervous system, where everything we do is, you could almost say it's like fated or pre-programmed or automated. In other words, if somebody yells at you, you get scared or angry or you retaliate. Or if somebody gives you a nice present, you feel happy and you give hugs and say thank you. If you feel very passionate about somebody or something and you want to express that, you ask them out on a date and see if you can score. Things like that. And so much of that stuff, even reproduction, even the everyday processes of living, you know, our bodily functions, all the way up to how we conduct ourselves in business and habits. A lot of that happens through habits that are deeply bedded and that we consider that us. That's who we are. I do this, I do that, you do this, you're a Pisces, and this is how things are. And it's full of energy, the energy of you. And with this strong card here, being surrounded by this kind of energy over here, my feeling is that you might be enjoying a surge of newfound types of energy that allow you, or like indicating it's time for you to upgrade, take things up a notch, where it's time to be really fully consciously aware of how much energy you are expressing in the context of a relationship that is purely hormonal or automatic or limbic or just driven by primal energies, things like, oh, he's hot, he thinks I'm hot, let's do this. And all of that happens like at the biological level. And here at Tarot Lumination, what we're trying to do, what we like to do, is bring as much consciousness into the beast, into the animal, and basically tame the animal. And the animal becomes the servant of spirit, the servant of the heart, the servant of the mind, excuse me, not the servant of the mind, but the servant of divinity, as opposed to being a slave to the senses, simply like a raw being that just moves around and operates purely on hormones. And I think that's good, because if you've, with that big Pisces new moon last month, I think that had a really big impact, and it'll take weeks to get back into full motion again because of the Mercury retrograde in Pisces as well. So you might be going through a lot of shifting here, realizing, sensing the opportunity for simple joy to happen, but having the realization that the real joy comes from up above, okay? It comes from heaven. I think of it as the healing power of love that comes into our bodies, minds, hearts, and souls from up above, okay? So how does this look over here? Okay, so with the Knight of Swords, this is very bold, like heroic energy, with a very strong determination to either put things right or make things right according to the way they see things, okay? So to me, this feels kind of challenging. So there's you, being Pisces, knowing that this is a great chance for you to evolve and grow and become much more like vividly conscious of who you are from a much more like high frequency spiritual perspective in the context of love and relationship, as opposed to the animal that we are, that you are, male or female, gender, forget, no matter, age, race, culture, whatever, no matter, we're still, you know, like it or not, we're animals. We have a lot in common with other living creatures. And all I'm suggesting is that as you're going through your own gateway that happened in March, it's a huge gateway. It has huge ramifications for months to come, perhaps even years. And it's change. It's all about change and growth and evolution, whether we like it or know it or not. And my feeling is that you get it, you understand it, and you're becoming aware of it because you're sensing the good stuff coming to you from up above. You might have been working on yourself, self-healing and things for a long time, for many years. And now it's time to enjoy the rewards of all that work. And here's what happens. It's not that simple. My feeling is with the Knight of Swords over here, this presents a problem to the other party, to the point where they feel challenged. In that it's almost like you might not even be expressing it or voicing it, but as you are growing and evolving and learning how to be more in the light, loving the light, radiating more light, being more loving, being more loved, simply because of you learning, expanding, and growing and evolving as you blossom, that puts them in a position where I feel they now have to defend themselves. I'm going to go back to an analogy I used on some of the other reports. It might be a kind of a theme for the whole month. Let's just say in terms of energy and frequencies. You've been managing like this. You know, you go up, you go down. You're a little bit above them, they're a little bit above you, and you get these balancing and power balance things that happen in love and relationship as we intimate, as we separate, as we intimate and separate. And then we go through this evolutionary leap, thanks to everything that happened in March, and it has opened a gateway to new opportunities and to expand and grow. And so, you know, things are ticking along, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, you're operating at these frequencies. And it's like, wow, this is cool. Wow, thanks. I wasn't aware of this. I heard about this stuff on Tarot Lumination before, but now I'm seeing it make sense. Now I understand it. This is so cool. I'm so happy. I am so loving. I'm so loved. I'm taming the animal. I am bringing the animal into service of spirit, and I am consequently happier. Aha. That's a problem for them because they could feel this in a completely different way. They might be going on their own spiritual evolution and everything like that, but from their perspective, they might feel intimidated. All of a sudden, like, wait a minute, who am I now? Like, who am I to you now? Am I inferior? Or are you suggesting that I need to grow up or something? Or why do I feel like I have to defend myself all of a sudden? Why do I feel I have to state my own rights, my own views, my own perspectives, and maintain my position? And then it's like, well, I don't mean any harm. It's just like, I am just me. I'm growing and evolving. Please don't take it personally. Well, we were doing okay. And now this reading is saying that there's a growth thing happening with you, and it's leaving me a little bit uncertain. Not sure how to deal with this, so if you don't mind, my defenses are up. And therein, you can have a problem, okay? You can have a serious disparity. And that happens with couples as we go through these evolutionary growth phases in the context of relationship. And when you are not aware of the structure, when you're not aware of the full dynamics of a relationship, that can turn into a big problem really fast. It would appear as an imbalance of power over here, which could be fractious and turn conflicted. However, when you look at it from the broader perspective, you could say, hey, listen, I'm just being me. I'm no harm intended. You be you. I'm still here. I'm not trying to outshine you or diminish you. We'll see about that. Okay. And then it's like, yeah, hang out with me. Maybe some of my cool stuff can rub off on you. We'll see about that. Okay. And so long as like you guys maintain like say the original codes or the primal sense of connection that you guys had from a loving perspective. Let's say you did come together through love in the first place, and that love is continuing and ongoing, but we're going through this evolutionary growth phase, call it growing pains, especially growth for you, but perhaps growing pains for the other in the context of the relationship. That's what could be awkward. And how that would show up in your personal life, Pisces, would be yours. You could obviously translate this reading into that. I'm just trying to go from the broad theme. I watch these things like movies. Okay? So deep inside of you, okay, Ace of Pentacles here. So this is, to me, this is very clear. It's something to do with the new starts, new beginnings that happened from March, okay? Going through a gateway, going through this new period of life. What now? What now? What now? What now? Well, here's the what now. The what now lies through the gateway here. This is the gateway. And it's evidential with the pentacles here. My feeling is deep down, this is very valuable to you. This, and look at these cards, okay? Remember, Pisces, it's not a couple's reading. This is like a little movie all about you, and this is the co-star. Now look at this, okay? This is where we started, okay? And that's what's surrounding everything. Major arcana, major, major. So, oh, it's not, it's almost like a major arcana. It's a card of sacred opportunity, like with the aces. They're really strong. And so you might be thinking like, wow, this is so cool. I'm glad I kept up with tarot illumination videos and something. So now I don't get swamped by these kind of energies or get confused by it. And I can actually say that this is kind of cool. New starts and new beginnings for me. And there's evidence. In other words, this is going to sound loopy-loo or upside down. In other words, you, Pisces, if you're in a relationship dynamic where you're feeling a real disparity now between yourself and another, where you're evolving and growing, let's do it like this. You're evolving and growing like this, and it might feel to the other that you're leaving them in the shade or in the dust. Please take it as good news. It's a physical, measurable evidence that you are evolving and growing. But it doesn't mean the relationship has to sour because of that. It's an opportunity now becomes an opportunity for them to evolve and grow. Okay? Do you get it? I hope that illustrates the message that I'm trying to send here. And deep down, to me, this feels like, again, I've been feeling it on a lot of the reports about this energy, like, oh, I hope this is real. I hope this is true. I would really like this to happen. I'd love to see actual evidence of my own growth and evolution. I deserve it. I want it. I'm starting to get glimpses of it, but it's very primal, raw. You might feel it and sense it as synchronicity, okay? Physical matter in synchronicity. Like, think of Uranus and Taurus. Uranus, the planet of shocking, surprising, random, synchronistic awakenings. And it's in Taurus. The physical, the sign of the physical matter, measurable physical matter. So I think that's what might be happening here for you, And this is literally like the golden opportunity to evolve and grow for you. And it's happening in the context of relationship. So there might be a lot of dynamics that are happening in the relationship that are like fomenting this evolution for you, because put it this way, a lot of evolution, growth, and adaptation in the individual can only happen in the context of relationship. A lot of things can happen without a relationship. You don't have to have, a marriage or a certain specific someone. You can still be you without that. But there are certain types of healing, especially, and also growth and evolution that can only happen in the context of relationship. So that's what I think is happening here. And you get it, and you understand it, and you're going for it. And you're not dumbing yourself down to accommodate their frustrations or their, let's say, expression of like their hackles being up, like, wait a minute. It could be something simple, like maybe you just got a cool new job or something, and you're out earning them now. Or maybe you just got a promotion, or you just inherited something, or just you have had leaps or something measurable in your life, which is obvious and measurable, and it's evidence of the gateway unfolding for you in beneficial ways, okay? What's about deep down inside of them. Okay, so with the Seven of Cups, okay, my feeling is that they're getting really disoriented by this. So it's actually a problem for them. It's almost like, it's some people, like, they don't want other people. They don't want you to change. Like, especially if you're in a relationship where everything was status quo, and then bam, the planets do this, or so-called fate does this or that, and everything changes irreversibly. And all of a sudden, something that was perfectly fine, we intimate, we separate, we have a relationship, we are loving, we are loved. All of a sudden, all of that changes. Kerblam. Like, wait a minute. What is going on here? But this is deep down. This is the end of my feeling in this context, in this reading with this card. It's like the dizziness of what's happening and the disorientation of what's happening to them as an individual in the context of relationship because of the stuff that's happening with you. And it puts them in a very awkward position of like, well, what am I supposed to do now? How am I supposed to define love now? What is the definition of love now going forward? I thought it was this, or this, and this, but now I'm seeing that everything is changing. It's almost like a kaleidoscope. I didn't ask for this. I didn't plan this. Why didn't I watch my TL videos? Maybe things wouldn't be like this. What am I supposed to do? Is this, in other words, it's almost like they're not conversing about this with you, Pisces, but it's almost like it's happening inside of them. I'm going to act it out here. It's just like this. Like, what on earth is going on with you? Well, like, I thought we loved each other. I thought you loved me, and I thought that I loved you, but I'm getting very confused. Like, I don't have a problem. You must be the one with a problem. Okay, so you just said it. I thought it was that way. I thought you were judging me. I'm not judging you. I'm just being me. It's how you're responding. That's the problem. What? You're saying I got a problem? Like, well, how do you define love? Now. Right now. What now? What now? Right now. Live in the moment. Be in the power of now. Right now. What has happened to you? Where are you getting all this stuff? I thought I had definitions of love and how it worked in love and relationship, our loving relationship. But I'm totally confused now. Because of you. Well, it's not because of me. It's because I am evolving. And like it or not, you're evolving. Well, I wish you told me in advance. Okay, what about the relationship itself? Oh, look. At least it's happening in the context of love, in the context of well-meaning, purity of love. In other words, there's no harm intended here. No one's actually getting, seriously burned or crushed or pulverized or abused or denied. There's still some kind of element or form of the relationship that has love in the most simple, pure sense. In other words, that moment when two people connect, like that very first moment when two people connect, and it happens at a very primal, hormonal, psycho-spiritual level, and they're going to go like, wow, like, yeah, you and me, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, I'm thinking what you're thinking. Are you feeling what I'm feeling? Yeah, I'm feeling what you're feeling. And that would be this, okay, at the very, very core. Now, does that mean the relationship is transforming into something more like friendship, or it's becoming more platonic, or more spiritualized, or more simple and pure? Like, you know, when little children fall in love, like a 7-year-old boy and a little 7-year-old girl, they're neighbors or something. And it's nothing to do with hormones at that point. It's just a recognition of one soul in another. Little children love each other. Little children can fall in love with each other and things like that. And it's the same thing with adults. It's perfectly possible for adults to love each other in a very, very pure, simple way. And I think you're lucky, Pisces, because it looks like you have an element of that kind of love here. Now, how that translates into the mechanical working aspects of a mature relationship, that's a whole other thing. Let's have a look. Okay, so with the Knight of Wands here, my feeling is that this is an expression that you, Pisces, feel confident enough, strong enough in yourself and person to lean on the relationship itself and go for it and live it out, live out your self, your identity in the context of a relationship without dumbing yourself down or having to apologize or like act or behave in ways that diminish the other party, and instead allow the relationship to do the work for you. If you have unless we want even one tiny fraction of this ingredient in a loving relationship, you're very lucky. So you can use that. You can lean on that and say, well, listen, it's almost like, well, listen, we still have the component of love on which everything is based. Okay. I'm a Pisces. I know about these things. Okay. Am I supposed to take you at your word? Basically, yes. Okay. So what is your point? Well, let me explain again. No harm intended. I'm not trying to show you up. I'm not trying to dumb myself. I'm not going to dumb myself down because you're having a problem with my evolution. I am simply being me, and I would like you to be you, okay? Okay. There's no problem. I don't have a problem with that. Okay. So I want both of us. I want both of us to be the best that we can be. I'm doing that. And I know that you're doing that too, but maybe your like celestial clock, your celestial timing is a little bit different from mine. Check your channel, check your reports, figure it out. You do your homework on you, I do my homework on me. You're really pushing me to the limits now. Isn't that nice? Isn't that what happens in a loving relationship? Look at that. We have this. Remember? We have this. We have this. Okay. Okay, if you say so. All right, let's just go for it. Let's just do it. Okay, I'll deal with it somehow. And there, the relationship is now speaking for itself. In other words, you are growing and fermenting something that is actually quite noble, and you're actually enjoying the benefits of understanding and living in the full dynamics of a relationship in this manner and leaning on it and taking full advantage of the investments that you've made in love and relationship to this point in your life, to this moment of what now, and so doing, you're enjoying the outcome and the fruits of your labor, and they will do so accordingly in their own time. So you can see how this is almost like a little plant that's growing. So with the Knight of Wands here, to me, it looks like an inspiration, like you're being you, and the relationship is what it is, because you already own this. And what's happening, it's almost like now you can go to them and say, listen, I'll try to illustrate this as best as I can. Okay, this is really weird. I don't normally go to this length, but it's almost like, listen, we've got this. Okay, we've got this. Okay, you see with the Knight of Wands here, it's like we've built this together. Do you understand that? We have come through thick and thin. We've been through intimacy, separation. We almost left each other. You almost left me. I almost left you. But look at us. We're still being us in our own weird new way. Doesn't that inspire you? Now you put it that way. Yes, it does. So what now? What about now? Like, wow. Okay, well, I will do what you suggested. I will do the work. I will live through my own growing pains, if you insist, darling, in order for me to get from here to hang out with you up here. Is that what you're talking about, honey? Yes. Okay. Well, at least we figured it out. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Okay, that's it. That's the reading. All right, that's enough. So let's leave it at that. You guys, you can reinterpret however you want. That's up to you. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising. And also, the subscribe's really, really important. Every subscriber counts, okay? Also, the likes. Also, the comments. I love reading the comments. I reply to almost every single comment. I read as much as I can. Also, if you really want to say thank you, membership is the way to go. All of that, check out the links below. Thank you so much. Have a super time, Pisces. Greetings from Tarot Lumination. You can do this, okay? And they can handle it too, all right? So don't worry. Bye-bye.